What's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, man. I'm gonna just go on and tackle this subject on this video. About sisters cooning. Especially in sports. And I was gonna do separate videos on all three of these women, but I decided to get all three of them at the same time on the same video. Because they ain't worth a separate video because they ain't about shit. They're a bunch of hypocrites, a bunch of cowards, and to be honest with you, a bunch of Aunt Sally ass coon chicks. You know, what this sister, she left a message for me. She said she likes my channel a lot, and she said that she won't subscribe because she say I'll refer to black women as bitches. Well, no, that's not true. I don't call all black women bitches. So obviously you don't follow my channel. The ones that act like a bitch, I'll call them a bitch. And to be honest with you, these three ladies, they've been called bitches by black women. So why should I give them a pass? Robin Roberts, Jamille Hill, and Leila Ali, they a bunch of bitches. I heard Tika say he tried to show respect because of Muhammad Ali. Well, here's the thing. Muhammad Ali is gone. Muhammad Ali is passed away, and it's been a while now. It's been a few months. So, I've been on Leila Ali for a minute for her constant cooning. Now, I was the first one that had the guts to call her out on her cooning. Now that's fact. Because I knew what she was doing. She was basically going along with the program. Attack Floyd Mayweather, attack demean black men. And the sad part about it is she's married to a black man. And, just like Superboy say, just because you married to somebody of the same race as you doesn't mean that you any less of a coon. Leila Ali been proven to be a coon. Robin Roberts is a lesbian coon, a secret man hater, black man hater. And Jamille Hill is a secret black man hater. Because both Jamille, I don't know about Robin Roberts and I don't know about Leila Ali, but I know for a fact Jamille Hill didn't have her father around. She was raised by her mother. And based off how she acts, she might be a carbon copy of her mother. Maybe her mother ran her father off. Because you know how some women don't tell the whole story when kids ask, where's daddy? But I'll get to that. I'll get to that later on because I'm going to get to that in the Black versus Black series, which, by the way, that starts probably on Thursday. I'll have my first couple of videos coming out. But let me get to all three of these chicks. Nobody can forget what Robin Roberts did to Chris Brown. She did that dude so wrong. She blindsided the dude after promising she wouldn't ask him about, she told him behind the scenes that they wasn't going to ask him about Rihanna. And when they get on the air, she blindsides him, blindsided him about Rihanna. After she promised the dude and said that she wasn't going to bring up the Rihanna shit. What I don't understand is, like I say, you always see these black women getting on TV saying, "Oh, I have a problem with men that hit women." No, but you only call out the black dudes. I never heard Jamille Hill talk about War Machine, Joshua Grisby, all those MMA fighters. I never heard them talk about, Josh Brown that much. I never heard him talk about this, the situation with Johnny Depp. Now that's funny. What Floyd said is true. Technically, there wasn't no pictures of his baby mama having bruises on her. But Amber Heard showed bruises, welts, Josh Brown, the chick that War Machine was with, that he beat so bad to where he disfigured her and then raped her, But they don't have problems with them, but they quick to point the finger at a black man because they know most of the time if you criticize a black man, there not going to be any repercussions because everybody knows America's biggest target is the black man. All you have to do is criticize a black man. Say what you want to say about a black man, and most of the time, unless it's just to the extreme, you'll get away with it. And I consider that cowardly. Leila Ali calling somebody a coward, saying, oh, hitting on a woman is cowardly. Oh, but she don't have a problem, like I said, with the MMA fighters. You don't see her talking about them. And she need to look in the mirror herself when it comes to being a coward, because we all know she retired because she didn't want to fight Ann Wolfe. That's fact. She didn't want no parts of Ann Wolfe, so she retired. And then you got a guy like Floyd Mayweather speaking up for her, speaking on her behalf, saying how beautiful she is and how she should get the endorsement that Ronda Rousey gets, but she won't get it. And then Leila Ali has a problem with Floyd saying that he's better than Ali. Well, let me ask y'all something. Well, let me ask her something. How come you don't have a problem with your father saying that he was better than, Joe Louis? People got to understand, just like I said earlier in my videos, is you really going to say somebody better than you? You supposed to really say that shit? In basketball, if a motherfucker say he better than Michael Jordan, that's his right. You supposed to think that way. If you think you better than Kareem, you supposed to think that way. So she have a problem with Floyd saying that, so Floyd's supposed to continuously kiss Muhammad Ali's ass. Just like I'm sure a lot of these NBA players are tired of the league telling them that Michael Jordan is the greatest and they have to always kiss Michael Jordan's ass. They don't have to. They go by talking about Michael Jordan is blasphemous. Michael Jordan ain't a god. He's a man. He's not a god. Michael Jordan's name ain't in the Bible. You don't see anything about criticizing Michael Jordan is blasphemous. So I hate when people say that bullshit. So people need to cut it out. Like I said, and I'll give you another example. Have you ever heard Tom Brady say that Peyton Manning is better than him? Or Brent Favre? John Elway? You're not never going to hear Tom Brady say that shit, because Tom Brady believes he's better than all of them. Same thing in baseball. You think Barry Bonds going to ever say that, Hank Aaron was better than him, or, Willie Stargell, guys like that? Ernie Banks? Come on, man. So she have a grudge against that dude for saying that? And how come Muhammad Ali's other two daughters don't have a problem with it? They understand. Like I said, it's the same with YouTube, man. As far as YouTube go, we all, like I say, everybody, we all get along. Motherfuckers is cool and shit. But I said this before. I'm pretty sure the dudes that I'm affiliated with in the LDBC think, hey, my channel is the best. And that's okay. You supposed to think that way. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You supposed to have confidence in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? And I can't believe how immature Leila Ali has acted about this. She takes immaturity to new heights. And Jamille Hill, let me get to her. Like I told you, she's a secret black man hater. You could just tell how she talks. She's been raised to hate black men. She tried to act like she down with the brothers, she for the cause, but she already proved it, talking about I'll never buy a Floyd Mayweather fight, and I never have, and all that type of shit, and why doesn't he fess up and all that shit and apologize. Look, at the end of the day, man, eventually you get tired of apologizing. To a certain degree, you don't have to apologize to everybody, and you don't. And every time you do an interview, you have to apologize. To me, if you have a press conference and say, hey, I apologize, that's it. We move on. No, I forgot. We don't do that with black people. Because with us, we have to apologize every time somebody shove a motherfucking mic in our hand. No, we always have to keep apologizing. Like I said, the same thing that happened with Jada Jackson and wardrobe malfunction. Like I said, every time she did an interview, they kept asking her and telling her to apologize. So finally, she got sick of the shit and said, look, I didn't apologize multiple times. How many motherfucking times you want me to say I'm sorry? So when she refused to apologize, once again, they told her, oh, well, don't come to the Grammys. Hey, fuck the Grammys. Like Fife Dog said, I don't need a statue to tell me how nice I am, and that should have been Janet Jackson's attitude. And, you know, if I'm not mistaken, Janet Jackson was never nominated for a Grammy ever again. See, that's the thing with black people. They always want to pound on us. They always talk of that when white people do something to us, they apologize and then they say, oh well, we need to move on. We need to heal as a group and a country and all that shit. But with us, we have to keep fucking apologize. We have to keep being asked about the shit because they want us always to be on our knees begging the white man for forgiveness. And I'm like this: fuck your forgiveness and fuck you. That's the problem. Like I said, so that's the problem that I had with those three wenches. Like I say, they only like to attack black men, but they don't have nothing to say about the white boys. Nothing. They ain't attacking them. Why ain't they calling them cowards? Why ain't they attacking that racist ass catcher with the Seattle Mariners that made his remarks about Black Lives Matter? You know what I'm saying? Why ain't they offended by that? But you know, like Leila Ali said, she don't want to lose endorsements. I can say this much about Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali wasn't about endorsements and all that type of shit. I can say that much. I already told you the problem that I had with Muhammad Ali. Look at my earlier videos that I expressed about Muhammad Ali. So some Muhammad Ali fans got mad at me, which I don't give a flying fuck. I mean everything I say. But like I said, man, Jamille Hill, Robin Roberts, and Leila Ali, they disappoint me to the fullest. They disappoint me to the fullest because they gutless. You know, I wish and hope someday that maybe a female version of Shannon Sharpe show up, because God knows we need it. You know, because basically they're contributing to the white man and helping him try to destroy the reputation of black men. You know, like I said, if white people are always saying, well, I've apologized and let's move on. Well, the same should be expected for us. Once we apologize once, that should be it. Stop fucking asking us about the shit every fucking time we get on TV. Because I'm going to tell you something. What Nate Parker did, that was the best way how to shut down the press. Shut their ass down. Like I said, I'm out.